Now, this game was pretty interesting, but it was also pretty underwhelming because of the extent of the lead that the Bulls had. Now, Temple and Satoransky both played for the Bulls, and now they're in New Orleans. And you have Lonzo Ball now playing for the Bulls that used to play in New Orleans as well. And it's interesting to see that back and forth. And New Orleans didn't have their full started lineup, and Zion is still hurt with his foot injury, and Jackson Hayes didn't play. Brandon Ingram didn't play. I'm not sure if he's hurt. I haven't really kept up with New Orleans very much. I really don't know if I am going to keep up with them because they didn't look so good, even without their star players. Jonas Valanciunas, though, is the one upside I will say. He was solid inside the perimeter. He's deadly, and that was a good acquisition from New Orleans. But I'm not sure that it's going to pay off in the long run because of just how bad they played. I don't know. It wasn't a good game for them. Alexander Walker struggled a lot, especially early on in the game. He struggled to even get a free to go in for a while. It was tough to watch because as fellow Canadian, you want to see your Canadian players thrive, but he didn't look so good. But obviously, it was all Chicago in this game, and I'm telling you right now, guys, the hype train for the Bulls just got that much more packed because of that amazing performance from their main players, man. There was a moment where DeRozan did a shot fake, and it was actually called an offensive foul on DeRozan when he leaned into the player and the player jumped into him, right? That was an offensive foul, and it was a good call as well. You're going to see a lot of those in the season, and it's going to be interesting to see which ones the referees miss because I'm pretty sure Twitter is going to go crazy when that happens. Now, the Bulls, man, they have a good defense. They really do. I didn't think that they would show that this early in the preseason, but I guess the Bulls are really trying to make a statement now in the East and try to make themselves make the playoffs and perhaps even be a top four team if everything goes well. Now, Javonte Green is a pretty good player, guys. Like, that guy, I know how well he played the first game, and he played good second game. I don't think he played better. But honestly, I stopped watching after it was like a 30-point game. I just stopped watching. The Bulls, they were off to an early hot start, okay, and they went their direction throughout the whole game. They held their own against teams like New Orleans and Cleveland that they're supposed to beat, quite honestly. And it's good to see because that's what you want to see out of a team that has been recently acclimated with players like DeRozan, Lonzo, and you had Vucevic last year coming in. This team is one to watch because a lot of people are thinking to themselves, the Bulls, can they be a contending team in a couple of years? Perhaps, man, perhaps. Something that I saw in the game that I thought to myself, man, that's gonna be a hard thing to guard. That either having Levine or DeMar do a pick and roll action with Vucevic. Oh my goodness, how do you guard that? I know Lonzo is a pretty good player when it comes to playing with Vucevic, but I'm telling you right now, man, Levine and DeRozan, just the amount of gravity they have already, especially in the mid range in terms of DeRozan's game. Oh my God, how do you guard that tandem when they have Vucevic right paired up to where he's gonna set up a pick and he's gonna go inside the paint and he can just shoot that jumper that he loves to shoot. Oh my God, it's so scary. It's so scary. That is a crazy thought, man. The East is gonna have to be careful, man. The Bulls are here to stay. Now, another game that happened between an Eastern and Western team, Miami San Antonio. And again, Miami did not play their star players. I'm guessing they just want to rest their guys. They just want to make sure that everything goes well and that no injuries, happens. And it was an opportunity for other players to really show up. And you see players like Markieff Morris playing well. He's a good acquisition from the offseason. And Yurt was also good. He's trying to get some minutes this season. I could really see it in his eyes, man. This guy wants to play. He wants to be NBA ready. Max Strus was good. He had a lot of boards, and the Heat, it may have paid off to rest their guys because Tyler Herro again showed up with 26 points. Now he did shoot 12 of 25, which is almost 50%. But you want to see that number go up. Hero looked very good, and he's looking to shut his haters up, man. He's already at his young age gotten a lot of haters based on what happened in his second year because people are saying, oh, the celebrity life has gotten to him. It looks like he's game ready, guys. It looks like he's gonna shut you guys all up because he's ready, man. He's there, and he's aggressive. Okay, that's one thing you want to see out of a player like Herro in his third year. Aggressive. He's very aggressive, and it helps that this offseason was really his first full offseason to where he could really work on his game, and it shows, man. It shows. This guy was lethal. Now, the San Antonio Spurs, it's hard to talk about them without talking about really what they lack, and that is a star player. Now, I know players like Keldon Johnson having 23 points, 8 of 13 shooting, which was very good. And then you have players like Deontay Murray, who had 13 points, and he played well with 6 assists as well. You know, it's those guys that you want to see develop, you want to see them get better in this team. And now they have a bigger opportunity to become better players. But again, they don't have that star player that a lot of teams have. And so now they're going to have to rely on the veteran presence as well with Doug McDermott, who didn't play that well today, and Bryn Forbes, who did play well with 16 points, and he shot 4 of 9 from free. It was a very good game from him. And I'm telling you right now, that was one of their best acquisitions, Bryn Forbes. Okay, you guys can talk about Doug McDermott all you want, but Bryn Forbes is that guy. Okay, he's been lethal for the Milwaukee Bucks, especially in that series against the Miami Heat. You can see it. That guy is a straight up shooter, man. San Antonio is in a new era, I think. This is a new era for the Spurs. And Popovich now is going to have to build this team up to where they potentially could be a playoff team. They could potentially be a contending team. But that's going to take a couple of years. That's going to take a lot of scouting. That's going to take a lot of players willing to buy into this program that, Popovich has been running for decades now. And we talked about Brent Forbes and how well he played for the Bucks, right? And the Bucks themselves, they're looking to try to repeat, but preseason wise, they didn't really play their players against Brooklyn today, and that's going to be the opening night game. So that was supposed to be a preview game, but it wasn't really a big preview game. But there were some new faces that did show up and shine for the Bucks. And if you want to know more about that, go check out my video that I just did a couple of hours ago. It was released on YouTube. You guys can watch it. Talks about both Cleveland and Indiana and Brooklyn and Milwaukee games. Those games were good games, and I'm pretty sure you'll be happy to hear me recap these games because there was a lot for me to talk about there.